Well, hello and welcome to DB Designs and Sewing Australia. If you'd like to see my Jude jeans, stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Deb and this is DB Designs and Sewing Australia. Over the last week, I made the Jude jeans by Closet Core. There are two different styles. I made this flare-legged patch pocket style. This is the image here. This is the flared leg patch pockets jeans. So patch pocket on the front as well as normal patch pocket jeans on the back. And I ended up making a straight size 12, but I did take up the leg because the legs have a facing. So this part of the lower leg where you can see that stitching here is actually a facing. I'll show you on the jeans. So it's a facing. It's a whole facing piece, which makes for a very nice finish, but what you want to do is make sure they're the right length when you cut them out, because you don't want to be cutting just the ends of your jeans off. And besides that, with flares, you've got to make sure you're not cutting all the flare off. So I took these up. I've probably got it here. I shortened them by 5 centimetres and I'm extremely happy with the length they turned out to be. So I do wear them with high heels, not like in the 70s when we wore them with platform shoes, but boots probably with a 2-inch heel on them. So really happy with them. They are filthy dirty because I wore them yesterday and I'm just about to wash them. I did do the fly the way I like to do the fly, and I did put up a video showing you how I do the fly. I will insert photos as we go along, but really happy with them. This fabric is from Weft and Warp and it is called Glenfield 11.75 ounce denim stretch, and they are really stretchy, really lovely, very high in the waist for me. They seriously are about half an inch below my bra wire, so really high. My husband told me to wear a belt with them, so I did wear a belt with them yesterday. Fabulous pattern, really easy to follow, really happy with the pockets and the back pockets. I put one of my labels in there and just a pleasure to wear, really, because the denim is so stretchy and they come up really high. Very comfortable. I thought they were going to scrunch up a lot more here, like between the waistband and the pocket, to make up for the fact that they are really high-waisted and I'm short in the waist. But high-waisted on anyone, I guess, is coming up above their waist. So I didn't find them higher than any of the jeans that I wore in the 70s. So when we wore staggers and other high-waisted jeans, I did not find them higher in the waist than a normal high-waist jeans, even though I'm short. So really happy with them, really happy with the hem. Oh, they're filthy. Really happy with the hem and doing the facing. Makes for a really nice finish on them, and it makes them hang straight as flares. So it's that facing's added extra weight to the bottom of the jeans and it's made them really nice. So highly recommend this pattern. I don't know anyone else who's made them, and I have put in, so I actually took a lot off the side seams, so I put a note in there to say next time I would just make a straight size 10. So I was surprised that they actually suit me. I felt really good in them. Got lots of comments from people that didn't even know that I sewed, because with them I wore my new Be Mine balloon sleeve blouse in the My Dress Made Divine Viscose. If you remember from last week, that was that fabric. Very lovely shirt, look, blouse. I think they call it a Be Mine balloon top, isn't it? Yeah, really happy with these jeans. I think they look really, really good. So I did also ask if anybody wanted me to do a run through on how I sew my zip in, but using calico, a coloured zip, different coloured threads, so that it's easy to see, because naturally sewing things in a dark denim, it is much harder to show on video what you're doing. And people have said, yes, can you please show us how you do that? But it's the way I do it, so that I get a very concealed zip. You can see how far in that zip is, because I don't like it when your jeans do that, and that's really the only place mine are ever tight, is across the tummy. I don't like it when it exposes the zip. And the other thing I thought was, when I made them, I did put interfacing in behind the buttonhole and behind the button, but when I was about to put the button on, I thought, you know what? In stretch fabric, I think I need to be putting a lot more interfacing in. So rather than undoing the whole thing, because I'd already sewn up all the waistband, top stitched it, I just added some interfacing to the back. Now this is starting to come away, but once I wash them, I will press that down again. This is self-adhesive, and it's a very heavy interfacing that I actually use inside bags. So knowing that that button is not going to pull through, if it gets, it's not really under very much stress because they're not that tight in the waist, but just as a security thing, or as a way to not wreck the jeans actually. I just added that little bit of extra in. I have done that before on other jeans as well, just to make sure that the button's really secure, but extremely happy with them, extremely happy. And I had some other people ask me, where did I get this fabulous sturdy envelope from? It's the envelope here. It has a way you can stitch it shut, but that you can stick it shut, but I don't do that to it. Now, I got this pattern printed up in AO from the Donor Society, and this is the envelope it comes in. Very, very sturdy, great for putting your pattern back into. I have all of my pattern pieces because I traced it off, and then once I've got it, I print off the picture, sometimes in black and white, depends how much ink's in my printer, and tape it to the front, and then put it in with all my other patterns. So loving these envelopes. It's really great, and they just don't fall apart, which is marvelous. So yes, and I print off a couple of other pages. I do, when I look at the instructions, I'm looking at them on my computer, on my laptop, but I print out the design detail and fit, the description, and the size charts and fabric requirements, because I'll often be looking at that several times. Now, this did take the full 2 meters. Really, really happy with them. Fabulous pattern. I didn't really follow the instructions, but that's only because I've made lots of jeans before, and I wanted to do the fly my own way. Always remembering the things to remember about stretch denim, or I guess stretch gabardine, or stretch anything you're going to make something out of. Stay stitch the tops. I stay stitch the tops, the yoke, and the top of the yoke, just so that it would all fit together as designed, because this fabric is very, very stretchy. Probably got a piece. It's really just about all I've got left. Not much. And so you can see there is a lot of stretch in this fabric, which makes them ultra comfortable. So really, really happy with that. And what else am I going to be making this week? Well, the next thing I'm going to make is the Take a Chance shirt dress by Pattern Emporium. Now, I'm probably going to do the version where it only buttons down to the skirt. So just the bodice buttoning. And I was thinking I was only going to make one tier, not two. So you can see there is a version there in the center that only buttons down to the skirt. And I wouldn't make the skirt as full, but I think rather than pleating it, I am going to gather it. When I was in Bowen Heads the other day, there was a really lovely linen dress in a shop, and it was just such a similar style, and it had gathering in its skirt. It actually had two tiers. It had gathering in its skirt, but the gathering wasn't very full. And as I don't really have full hips, I don't need the gathering in the skirt. And I'm going to make this dress using this gorgeous fabric, which is a Fabric Godmother seersucker that I got in the Rustic River May Deluxe box. Now I've got 3 meters of that, so I should easily be able to get the dress out of that. Even if I do 1 or 2 tiers, that shouldn't really make very much difference because I'm going to reduce the amount of gathering in it. So I'll just work that out. But it's another pattern that I got printed from the Dove Society. Even though I do have patterns that I stick together myself, I'm so thrilled when I get something that I don't have to do that to. So that's what I'm going to be up to next. Then I'm going to be popping to Queensland for a week, hopefully where there's some sun shining, for a girlfriend's 60th. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's just the girls going. So should be fun. Oh, as I said, I will be doing the demonstration, let's call it, of the zipper sewn my way, but in calico, using a coloured zip, using different coloured threads, so you can actually see where everything is going. Now, the other thing I had a subscriber ask me about was the Steena skirt. She had tried to make the Steena skirt and it didn't work out. She was going to grade it from one size to a larger size from the waist to the hips. And she'd bought the PDF, and in the PDF apparently there are stitch lines. And I said, oh, I'll have a look on my pattern because I bought the paper pattern. And I do remember the skirt because with Atelier Jude patterns, you have to trace it off. You don't have any choice. Your pattern is all overlapping, but it does not have the stitch lines on it. There are no stitch lines. There are join lines. And I actually outlined it in purple texture so that I could trace it off. And I do remember it being a bit of a task to it just reminded me of the Birder days. We used to get the Birder magazine and you'd get those sheets and it would just have 10 things overlapping each other, but you could work it out. It just took more time, that was all. Now, I'm not sure how the PDF comes, so, or if it looks similar to this. So this is the image of the top of the skirt, and you can see it giving you directions for the pleats. And remembering that the Steena skirt has a pleat in the pocket. And I do remember when I made the first one, I thought, what? At some of the instructions, but I did work it out, and I went on to make another two. So obviously I'm not finding it that difficult, but I was very surprised to find that that more than one person had been having trouble with the Steena skirt. So I'm assuming that the instructions are exactly the same on the PDF as they are in the book that you get with your paper pattern. And remembering that this is a type of skirt it is. So this is your skirt with the pleats. This is your lining skirt. So when it comes to grading, I think there's plenty of ease in this skirt. So if you were going to think, do I need to grade out because my hips are a different size to my waist? The first thing I would do is I would measure the lining piece, because the lining piece doesn't have any pleats into it. It just fits inside the pleated skirt. So that's going to indicate to you whether or not the skirt is going to be big enough on the hips for you and have enough ease in it for you. And you know what? You could even stitch together that lining piece and make sure you can get it on and off easily. I can always get elastic waist things on and off easily because my hips are like the smallest part of me, but I know that's not the case for everyone. So the first thing I would be doing is making sure that the lining fits you, because the lining is going to fit inside the skirt, so you know the skirt's at least that big. So that's one hint I can give you. I won't say I'll do one and do a demonstration because I've already got 3 and I just made 2 other skirts. So from a person that never wore skirts before, now I am. But I'm really happy with this pattern. Can you let me know if you've made it and it was easy to do and you used the PDF? Because possibly there's a difference between the PDF and the printed paper pattern, but the printed paper pattern definitely does not have the stitch lines on it. So I can imagine as a PDF, when you stick it all together, if you've got stitch lines on it, yeah, see, this does not even mention in its key that that it has stitch lines. So definitely there are no stitch lines on the actual paper pattern. And it's a gorgeous skirt, but size-wise, I would definitely, if you don't want to do a toile of the skirt, and it's actually a lot of fabric to do the toile on the skirt, do a toile on the lining. And if you can get that lining on and off, that skirt is going to fit you. So then you'll know if you need to grade up or down. And if it was me and it didn't fit in the hips and it was too tight, I would just grade up in the waist as well, because it does have elastic in the waist. So you can pull that in to accommodate it being slightly bigger in the waist. Yes, so grading is not going to be the easiest thing, because when you look at the pattern pieces, here's the pattern pieces of the skirt. They're both cut on the fold. One's the front and one's the back. They're practically straight. They're practically straight because they have the pleating. Yeah, there's not much difference in it. So I would be definitely looking at the lining. That's the shaped piece. to see if the skirt was going to fit you, and then cut out your size appropriate to whatever size lining that you had to make. And with elastic in the waist, you're always measuring the elastic around your waist anyway. I wouldn't know what size elastic I put in things. I just try the elastic on, go, yep, that's right, cut it off and stitch it in or thread it in. And I'm really surprised that people have had trouble with the Steena skirt. And when I Google it, it's only coming up with me. I can't see any other Steena skirts besides the ones Atelier Jupe have done and mine. So has anyone else made this? Has anyone else successfully made this? And for those who have not been successful and want to just throw everything in the bin, which is how you feel when you've not been successful at doing it, just ignore the stitch lines. It already tells you what seam allowance is. And I think in the Atelier Jupe, it gives a proper little blurb about what the seam allowances are. Yes, so in Atelier Jupe, it's telling you for each part how much the seam allowance is. So I can see the front has a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance and a 4 centimetre hem. So does the back. The waistband has 1.5 centimetres. And the lining does too. So everywhere has 1.5 centimetres, and then they just give you the hem. Then they just give you the hem allowance. Because with the lining, the hem allowance is 3 centimetres. With the skirt, the seam allowance is 4 centimetres. Well, I think I just cut that seam allowance off the lining and did a rolled hem. It's just easier. And 2 of them I did in 100% silk, and 1 of them I did in a BEM silk. Yeah, so let me know if you've had a problem with the Steena skirt, and if that's why there's not many photos on anything. I searched Instagram, which is just really gone weird and is hard to search now, and I wish they'd change it back to the way it was before. I was already bad enough at doing Instagram, let alone what they've changed it to now. So let me know. A big thank you to all those people who have paid me through my Ko-fi account. Very, very much appreciated. Please like and please subscribe and share this video. And the Jude Jeans, fabulous pattern. Really, really happy with it. And that fabric, really, really good fabric. That was from Weft and Warp. Don't forget our Sew Autumn Denim challenge. Everything's got to be on Instagram on the 31st of May for you to be in the running for the prize, which is the June Bespoke box from the Dahlia Society. And the other prize is a $50 voucher from the Dahlia Society. So fabulous prizes, well worth entering. A lot of people have contacted me and said that they're going to be uploading their photographs of their denim makes on the 31st, if they can work out how to use Instagram now. What am I wearing today? I am wearing an all-in easy fit shirt and a scarf that I think I bought in Kuala Lumpur, and some lander pants with a belt to hold them up. So I've been getting lots of wear out of my lander pants. And Ugg boots because I'm just at home. So I've been getting a lot of wear out of my lander pants because I've been wearing belts with them. Still really comfortable and they don't fall down. So that's always a plus. Now I need to think about what I'm going to pack for Queensland, where it's not terribly hot. I think it was like 20 degrees, which to me is not very hot. Because the other girls are saying, don't forget to bring your bathers. I'm not going in the sea if it's 20 degrees, that's for sure. Might go in a heated swimming pool, but I think they might have been thinking of going on a spa day or something. So that'll be great. Everybody have a great week. We are in the process of buying our house. hopefully everything checks out okay and we can go ahead. But more on that another time. Everybody have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you all soon. Don't forget about putting your Sew Autumn Denim 2024 on the 31st of May. That's the end of this week. Everybody have a great week. Happy sewing. Bye.